Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you cleaned your room? Not just moved things around, not just pushed the mess into a corner, not just hid the chaos under your bed. I mean, truly cleaned it. Because the truth is, the condition of your room is not just about cleanliness. It's about your character. It's about your discipline. It's about your future. Your room is the first battlefield of your life. Discipline creates destiny. That sentence is not motivational. It is a warning. Because every life ends somewhere. Every person becomes something. Every future arrives, whether you prepare for it or not. And what decides where you end up is not luck, not talent, not intelligence, not background. It is discipline. Discipline is the voice that tells you to get up when your body says, stay down. It is the hand that pulls you forward when fear tries to hold you back. It is the force that makes you move when comfort tries to trap you. Most people think destiny is written by the world. It is not. Destiny is written by your daily choices. The alarm you ignore, the workout you skip, the book you don't read, the work you delay, the promise you break to yourself. Those small decisions don't feel dangerous. They feel harmless. They feel normal. They feel justified. But over time, they build a life of regret, a life of stress, a life of what if. Discipline is uncomfortable. It burns, it hurts, it demands, it takes. But regret hurts more. Watching others pass you hurts more. Knowing you wasted your potential hurts more. Living with the feeling that you could have been more hurts more. Discipline is choosing pain with purpose, pain that builds you, pain that sharpens you, pain that turns you into someone strong. Without discipline, your life is driven by emotion. You work when you feel like it. You try when you feel motivated. You quit when things get hard. And life is hard. It doesn't care about your mood. It doesn't wait for your confidence. It doesn't slow down for your fear. If you are not disciplined, life will break you. Slowly, quietly, daily. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't post online. It doesn't brag. It shows up when nobody is watching. Early mornings, late nights, long hours, silent sacrifice. It is lonely because most people choose comfort. They choose sleep over growth. They choose entertainment over effort. They choose easy over meaningful. Discipline chooses the long road, the hard road, the road that builds something real. Every great life is built on boring habits. Waking up early, training when tired, studying when distracted, working when unmotivated. No one sees these moments, but these moments decide everything. Discipline turns ordinary people into powerful ones, not because they are special, but because they are consistent. They show up when it's cold. They show up when it's hard. They show up when they're afraid. And over time, life starts to bend. Opportunities appear. Confidence grows. Respect follows, not because of talent, because of discipline. Your future is watching you right now. It sees every excuse, every delay, every shortcut. And it remembers. The life you want is built by the habits you avoid. The strength you want is built by the pain you escape. The success you want is built by the work you postpone. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. Without it, dreams stay dreams, goals stay wishes, potential stays locked. And time does not wait. It keeps moving, it keeps taking, it keeps closing doors. Every day without discipline is a day stolen from your future. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Your habits decide your destiny. Discipline is the difference between dreaming and becoming, between wishing and winning, between surviving and living. It is the force that turns pain into power, fear into fuel, struggle into strength. Without discipline, life happens to you. With discipline, you shape your life, and the shape you give it will follow you forever. Order builds mental clarity, not the kind you read about, not the kind you post about, the kind you feel, the kind that lets you breathe again. When your life is messy, your mind never rests. When your space is chaotic, your thoughts start racing. When everything around you is out of control, you feel like you are drowning. Clutter is not just physical. It lives in your head. It lives in your heart. It lives in your habits. And it whispers to you all day long. You wake up already tired. You sit down already overwhelmed. You try to focus, and your mind jumps everywhere. You want to move forward, but your thoughts pull you backward. Order is not about perfection. It is about peace. It is about walking into a room and feeling calm instead of stress. It is about opening your notebook and feeling clear instead of confused. It is about starting your day with direction instead of panic. Your environment is shaping your brain. Every pile of mess is a reminder of something unfinished. Every scattered object steals a piece of your attention. Every disorganized space drains your energy. You think you're tired. You're not. You're overwhelmed. Your brain is carrying too much, too many distractions, too many decisions, too many reminders of things you haven't handled yet. And slowly it wears you down. Order gives your mind room to breathe. It gives your thought space to move. It gives your focus a place to land. When your desk is clean, your thinking becomes sharp. When your room is calm, your heart slows down. When your schedule is clear, your anxiety fades. Order creates silence inside your head, not empty silence. Strong silence. The kind that makes you feel grounded, the kind that makes you feel steady, the kind that makes you feel capable again. Disorder keeps you in survival mode, always reacting, always rushing, always behind. Order lets you lead your life instead of chasing it. You stop feeling lost. You stop feeling scattered. You stop feeling like everything is slipping through your hands. You start seeing clearly what matters, what doesn't, what needs to be done next. Clarity is power. When your mind is clear, your decisions improve. When your decisions improve, your life changes. You stop wasting energy on chaos. You stop burning out on confusion. You stop drowning in distraction. You move with purpose. You think with precision. You act with confidence. Order is not control. It is freedom. Freedom from noise. Freedom from stress. Freedom from mental exhaustion. You stop carrying the weight of unfinished business. You stop feeling guilty about what you haven't done. You stop fighting your own environment and you start working with it. Your mind wants structure. It craves simplicity. It needs boundaries. Without them, it runs wild. And when it runs wild, it drags your emotions with it. Anxiety rises. Focus disappears. Motivation fades. But when you create order, something inside you settles. You feel lighter. You feel stronger. You feel more in control, not because life is easier, because your mind is sharper. Order teaches your brain to trust you. It tells your mind that you are capable, that you can handle your life, that you can manage your world. And when your mind trusts you, it stops fighting you. It stops resisting. It starts supporting you. You stop feeling scattered. You start feeling centered. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You start feeling ready. You stop feeling behind. You start feeling ahead. Order is not about impressing anyone. It is about saving yourself, saving your energy, saving your focus, saving your peace. Because when your mind is clear, your path becomes visible. And when your path is visible, your steps become strong. And when your steps become strong, your life begins to move forward. Small habits shape big futures, not in a loud way, not in a dramatic way. In a quiet, invisible way, the kind that nobody notices, the kind that nobody claps for, the kind that feels too small to matter. But they matter more than anything. Your life is built one day at a time, one decision at a time, one habit at a time. You don't wake up successful. You wake up and do the same things you did yesterday. And those things decide where you go. Most people want a big breakthrough, a big moment, a big change, a big win. But life doesn't work that way. Life changes in inches. It moves slowly. It builds quietly. It grows patiently. And one day you look back and realize everything is different. Not because of one big choice, but because of 1,000 small ones. The way you start your morning, the way you speak to yourself, the way you use your time, the way you treat your body. These moments don't feel important. They feel routine. They feel boring. They feel ordinary. But they are shaping your future. Every small habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you wake up early, you vote for discipline. When you train, you vote for strength. When you study, you vote for growth. When you rest, you vote for balance. And when you skip, you vote against yourself. You tell your future that it can wait. You tell your dreams they are not urgent. You tell your potential it is optional. And time listens. It records everything. The habits you build today become the life you live tomorrow. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Perfection is fragile. Consistency is powerful. Perfection breaks when life gets hard. Consistency adapts and keeps moving. Small habits build identity. You don't just run. You become a runner. You don't just read, you become a learner. You don't just work, you become disciplined. And identity is everything. When your habits change, your self-image changes. When your self-image changes, your behavior follows. And when your behavior follows, your future shifts. Small habits are easy to ignore. They don't demand attention. They don't force urgency. They wait patiently. And that is what makes them dangerous. Because you think you have time. You think tomorrow will be better. You think you'll start next week. You think next month will be different. But tomorrow becomes today. And today becomes yesterday. And suddenly years are gone. Not because you failed, because you delayed. Small habits protect you from regret. They build a safety net under your dreams. They create momentum. They give you direction. They keep you moving forward even when motivation disappears. You don't rise when you feel inspired. You rise when your habits carry you. On days you're tired, on days you're doubting, on days you want to quit. Your habits decide if you continue or stop. Big goals need small actions. Big dreams need daily effort. Big futures need tiny disciplines. You don't change your life by changing everything. You change your life by changing one thing, then another, then another. And one day you realize you are no longer the person you used to be. You think differently. You move differently. You live differently. Not because life changed. Because you did. Small habits are not small. They are seeds. And whatever you plant, you will grow. If you plant discipline, you grow strength. If you plant focus, you grow clarity. If you plant effort, you grow success. But if you plant excuses, you grow regret. And regret grows fast. It wraps around your heart. It sits in your chest. It whispers at night, telling you about the life you could have lived, the future you could have built, the person you could have become. Small habits decide if that voice is loud or silent. They decide if your story is about becoming or about wishing. They decide if your life is about action or about waiting. And every day you get to choose which habits you feed and which ones you starve. Because the future you want is built today in the smallest moments and the quiet choices in the habits nobody sees. But your destiny remembers. Chaos destroys potential, not all at once, not in a dramatic explosion, but slowly, silently, patiently. It creeps in. A missed responsibility here, a delayed decision there, a habit you let slide, a standard you lowered, and one day you look around and realize your life feels heavy, not because you are incapable, but because everything is scattered. Chaos is exhausting. It steals your focus. It drains your energy. It clouds your thinking. You wake up tired before the day even starts. You sit down already overwhelmed. You try to move forward but feel pulled in 10 directions. Chaos keeps you busy but not productive, always rushing, always reacting, always behind. You are moving all day but getting nowhere. Potential needs structure. It needs direction. It needs discipline. It needs clarity. Without those, talent rots, dreams fade, goals shrink, confidence disappears. Chaos turns strength into stress. You stop believing in yourself. You start doubting your abilities. You begin questioning your worth. Not because you failed. Because you never gave yourself a chance to focus. Chaos creates noise in your head. So loud you can't hear your own thoughts. So constant you forget what calm feels like. So heavy you forget who you are. You feel lost even when you are moving. You feel tired even when you are resting. You feel stuck even when you are trying. Chaos keeps you in survival mode, always catching up. Always fixing mistakes, always putting out fires. There is no space to grow. There is no room to think. There is no time to dream. And slowly your potential suffocates. You were not born to just survive. You were born to build, to lead, to create, to rise. But chaos keeps you small. It convinces you that life is just stress, that pressure is normal, that exhaustion is success. It lies to you. It tells you that you are weak. But you are not weak. You are overwhelmed. Chaos steals your power by stealing your attention. Every distraction is a thief. Every unfinished task is a weight. Every messy habit is a chain. You carry them all and wonder why you feel tired. Potential is fragile. It needs protection. It needs boundaries. It needs order. Without them, it is crushed by noise, crushed by pressure, crushed by constant motion with no direction. Chaos makes everything harder than it needs to be. Simple tasks become overwhelming. Clear goals become confusing. Good intentions turn into stress. And over time, you stop trying, not because you gave up, because you are burned out. Chaos burns people out, not work, not effort, not ambition. Chaos, too many things pulling you, too many demands shouting, too many responsibilities colliding, and no system to hold it all together. You start procrastinating. Not because you are lazy, because your mind is tired. You start avoiding, not because you don't care, because you feel buried. Chaos convinces you that your potential is gone, that you've missed your chance, that it's too late. But potential doesn't disappear, it gets buried. Under clutter, under stress, under disorder, under overwhelm. It waits for space. It waits for silence. It waits for structure. It waits for you to take control. You don't need more talent. You need less chaos. You don't need more motivation. You need more order. You don't need more pressure. You need more clarity. Because inside you is more than you've ever shown, but chaos is hiding it, smothering it, drowning it. And every day you stay in disorder, your potential waits quietly, patiently, hoping you will finally choose control over chaos and structure over stress and direction over distraction. Because the moment you do, everything inside you will finally have room to rise. Responsibility builds power. Not the kind you see in movies, not the kind that comes with applause, the quiet kind. The real kind, the kind that changes who you are. Power is not control over others. It is control over yourself. It is doing what needs to be done when no one is watching. It is standing up when it would be easier to walk away. It is owning your life instead of blaming the world. Responsibility is heavy. It asks more of you. It demands more from you. It removes your excuses. And that is why most people run from it. They want freedom without effort, success without sacrifice, respect without discipline. But life does not work that way. When you avoid responsibility, you give your power away. You give it to circumstances, you give it to other people, you give it to fear, you become a passenger in your own life, waiting, hoping, complaining. Responsibility puts you back in the driver's seat. It tells you that your life is your job. Your future is your task. Your growth is your duty. It reminds you that no one is coming to save you. And that is not scary. That is empowering. Because if no one is coming to save you, then you get to build yourself. You get to decide who you become. You get to decide how far you go. You get to decide what kind of life you live. Responsibility turns weakness into strength. It forces you to grow. When you take responsibility, you stop saying it's not my fault. You stop saying I can't. You stop saying I was unlucky. You start saying I will figure it out. You start saying I will handle it. You start saying I will become better. And that changes everything. You stop feeling helpless. You stop feeling small. You stop feeling powerless. You start standing taller. You start speaking stronger. You start moving with purpose. Responsibility sharpens you. It teaches you discipline. It builds your character. It strengthens your mind. Every problem you face becomes training. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes fuel. You don't break. You adapt. You don't quit. You rise. People begin to trust you, not because you talk big, because you deliver, you show up. You follow through. You carry your weight. And trust is power. Respect is power. Reliability is power. When people know they can count on you, doors open, opportunities appear, your voice carries weight. Your presence is felt. Responsibility builds confidence, real confidence, not loud, not arrogant, not fake. The kind that comes from knowing you can handle life. The kind that comes from surviving pressure. The kind that comes from carrying your burdens and still moving forward. You stop doubting yourself. You stop running from hard things. You stop hiding behind excuses. You face life head on. And life starts respecting you back. Responsibility is not about being perfect. It is about being accountable. It is about owning your mistakes, owning your choices, owning your future. It is about saying, this is my life and I will take care of it. No one else can do that for you. No one else can walk your path. No one else can fight your battles. No one else can build your future. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting, you start acting, you stop wishing, you start building. You stop hoping for change, you become the change. And slowly, something inside you grows: strength, courage, self-respect. You feel different. You move different. You think different, not because life got easier, because you got stronger. Responsibility does not limit you. It frees you. It frees you from excuses. It frees you from victimhood. It frees you from regret. It gives you control. And control is power. The kind that lasts, the kind that carries you, the kind that builds a life you can stand behind, the kind that turns ordinary people into leaders, the kind that turns pressure into pride, the kind that turns struggle into strength, the kind that turns effort into respect, the kind that turns you into someone your future self will thank. Structure creates success, not overnight, not by accident, not by luck. Success is built carefully, deliberately, patiently, and structure is the blueprint. Without structure, effort is wasted. Without structure, energy is scattered. Without structure, ambition burns out. You can work hard and still go nowhere. You can try every day and still feel stuck because effort without direction is just exhaustion. Structure gives your life a frame. It tells your time where to go. It tells your energy where to focus. It tells your attention what matters. Without it, everything competes. Your phone, your stress, your doubts, your distractions. They pull you apart. Structure pulls you together. It turns chaos into order. It turns pressure to progress. It turns dreams into plans. Structure is how you protect your goals from noise, from excuses, from procrastination. It is how you build momentum, one habit at a time, one routine at a time, one system at a time. Success is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. Structure helps you say no. No to distractions. No to time wasters. No to empty effort. It teaches you discipline, when to work, when to rest, when to push, when to pause. Your mind needs boundaries. Without them, it drifts. Your focus needs direction. Without it, it fades. Your ambition needs systems. Without them, it dies. Structure turns motivation into consistency. Motivation comes and goes. Structure stays. On days you feel strong. On days you feel tired. On days you feel lost. Structure carries you forward. You don't have to think. You just follow the plan. And the plan becomes your power. Structure removes friction. You stop wasting time deciding what to do. You stop arguing with yourself. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You know what needs to be done. So you do it. Structure builds trust with yourself. You keep promises. You finish what you start. You show up when you said you would. And self-trust is everything. When you trust yourself, you move faster. When you trust yourself, you take bigger risks. When you trust yourself, you aim higher. Structure gives your life rhythm. Work, train, learn, rest. A balance that keeps you strong, not burned out, not overwhelmed, not scattered. Success is not about grinding forever. It is about sustaining progress. Structure makes progress sustainable. You stop sprinting, you start building, you stop chasing, you start creating. Structure gives you leverage. Small actions compound, daily habits stack. Weekly goals align, monthly progress becomes visible, and suddenly the impossible feels reachable. Structure keeps you grounded. When life gets loud, when pressure rises, when fear shows up, you don't fall apart. You fall back on your system. Your routine becomes your anchor. Your plan becomes your protection. Your habits become your armor. Structure does not make you rigid. It makes you resilient. It gives you a foundation. So when life shakes you, you don't break. You adapt. You adjust. You keep moving. Success is not about talent. It is about follow through. And follow through is built on structure. You stop starting over. You start continuing, you stop chasing shortcuts, you start trusting the process. Structure turns dreams into deadlines, ideas into action, goals into results. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You create it. You don't hope for discipline. You design it. You don't rely on willpower. You build systems. And those systems carry you. On days you doubt, on days you struggle, on days you want to quit, structure holds you together. It keeps you moving forward. It keeps you building. It keeps you growing. Success is not a destination. It is a pattern. And structure is what keeps that pattern alive. Self-respect starts at home, not in public, not on social media, not in front of strangers. It begins in private, in the way you live, in the way you treat your space, in the way you treat yourself. No one sees those moments, the way you wake up, the way you make your bed, the way you leave your room, the way you sit with your thoughts. But those moments define you. Self-respect is not loud. It doesn't need attention. It doesn't seek approval. It doesn't perform. It is quiet. It lives in discipline. It lives in standards. It lives in how much you care when nobody is watching. Your home is your first mirror. It reflects your values. It reflects your habits. It reflects your mindset. A careless space teaches you to be careless with yourself. A chaotic space teaches you to accept disorder. A neglected space teaches you to accept less. But a clean, organized home sends a powerful message. You matter. Your time matters. Your life matters. Self-respect is choosing order over laziness, choosing discipline over comfort, choosing pride over excuses. It is refusing to live like you don't care. It is refusing to treat your life like it is temporary, because the way you live at home follows you everywhere. It follows you to work. It follows you to school. It follows you into your relationships. If you don't respect your own space, you won't respect your own boundaries. If you don't respect your own time, you won't respect your own potential. If you don't respect your own life, no one else will. Self-respect is built in small acts. Cleaning your room, folding your clothes, washing your dishes, organizing your desk. These are not chores. They are statements. They say, I care. They say, I am disciplined. They say, I take responsibility. A person who respects their home respects themselves. They don't tolerate filth. They don't tolerate chaos. They don't tolerate excuses. They don't live in survival mode. They live with intention. Self-respect creates standards. Standards create boundaries. Boundaries protect your peace. When you respect yourself, you don't accept disrespect from others, from life, from yourself. You don't settle. You don't lower your values. You don't compromise your future, because you know what you deserve. Self-respect gives you presence. You walk differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently, not because you are better than others, because you know your worth. And worth is built in daily actions, in quiet discipline, in how you treat your world. A person who lives with order lives with pride, not ego pride, the pride of effort, the pride of discipline, the pride of self-control. You feel stronger. You feel more confident. You feel more capable, not because life is easy, because you are ready. Self-respect is how you protect your future. You don't sabotage yourself. You don't waste your time. You don't destroy your health. You don't ignore your responsibilities. You show up. You handle your life. You take care of your world, and your world takes care of you. Self-respect is the foundation of success. Without it, nothing lasts. Money disappears. Opportunities vanish. Relationships fail. But when you respect yourself, everything grows. Trust grows. Confidence grows. Discipline grows. Your life becomes stronger. Your mind becomes sharper. Your path becomes clearer. And it all begins at home, in the quiet moments, in the small habits, in the decisions nobody sees, where your real character lives, where your real standards are built, where your real life begins.